In just over a month, North Myrtle Beach Fire Chief Garry Spain will have a new title, Retired Chief.
But before he goes, he sat down with our Eric Richards to reflect on his 35 years of service as a first responder.
North Myrtle Beach Fire Chief Garry Spain is hanging it up after more than 3 decades, 8 of which were right here in the Grand Strand. Tonight he says that he's leaving to spend more time with family, but also to see the next generation lead.
And this was, we lost, I think it was 5, 6 homes on one street.
Done climbing the ladder, Chief Spain is preparing to retire.
There might not be a perfect place, but this has been the perfect place for me.
To understand how Chief Spain got here, we look back at where he's been. His career started in 1988 in the Raleigh Fire Department.
My wife, we started dating in high school, and her father was a retired Raleigh firefighter.
Spain says his father-in-law always spoke highly of the department, which sparked his interest in a career of service.
All I heard from my father-in-law was how much of a great career it was for him.
Spain soon got married and became a father twice to sons Colton and Jacob. Chief Spain's 16-year-old son Jacob Spain dreamed of becoming a firefighter just like his dad. However, that dream did not come true because of a brain aneurysm that took his life.
My wife and I, we were out celebrating our anniversary, and Jacob had gone to a FFA banquet, and when I call it a banquet, it was really at one of the other kids' parents' home.
That was in 2012, and after Jacob gave his speech, he sat down, and within 5 minutes, he was unresponsive.
We received a phone call that Jacob was having a seizure, and so we immediately started heading towards the house, and when we got there, we found EMS doing CPR on him.
Jacob was revived and loaded into an ambulance. The policy then was to prohibit off-duty firefighters from riding in an ambulance with a patient, so Spain hopped into his vehicle and sped ahead of the unit. Eventually, a police officer pulled him over.
Him pulling me over was a blessing in disguise because the EMS truck was able to pass me, and it went probably another 2 miles down the road and pulled over to the side of the road, and he had coded again.
Because there were just 2 EMTs on board, Spain was able to get in and perform CPR on his son. Sadly, it was to no avail, and after being transferred to a hospital, Jacob Spain was declared brain dead.
He was an organ donor, and on the 21st, which is our other son's birthday, he had his organ donation surgery. So he had his organ donation surgery on our other son's birthday. He is the biggest hero in our family.
3 years later, after countless calls for service and well-deserved promotions, the last being assistant chief in Raleigh, a call from North Myrtle Beach to head to the public safety department. Back then, police and fire held dual roles. The 2 departments separated in 2021.
He has brought so much integrity and has worked with all of our firemen, and is loved by all of our firemen and firewomen.
Now Chief Spain is preparing to pass the badge to Deputy Chief Billy Floyd.
For me personally, there's a lot that he's done for me to help me get prepared for my own career pushing forward.
I really can't wait to look back and see how this department continues to grow.
As for what's next for Chief Spain, he says that he's moving back to North Carolina, where he will be very active in his church. In studio, Eric Richards, WMBF News.